go with the network tab. Okay, click on the new sign up. I say UID, some test underscore admin. Password, say some hello. Re-enter, say some hello. I say test underscore admin at gmail.com. Once we click on register, if you see here, it is hitting a new sign up guy and we are getting a response called a success. So here, the first step what I did is I created a simple web service which is responding some message. Whenever you're going with the development, try to follow these steps, guys. Now, if you see under my web service, I haven't written anything called how do I create a MongoDB connection. I haven't written. I simply tested first of all whether my web service working good or not. Fine. The next thing what I need to test is whether I'm receiving the data what user is passing or not. So can you tell me how do I read the data what user is passing in the form of post communication? Console.log.
Request.body.
Are you sure? Request.query. Come on.
Request.body.
Request.body.
Exactly. So request.query is for the get type of communication. If it is post type of communication, it is request.body. As simple as it is. Good part. Now, do I need to restart? Yes. Anytime you do any changes on the server side, restart needed. I go with the new sign up. UID is some admin, say some testing, something I'm giving, test at the rate gmail.com. Once I click on register, I'm getting a success message. Go to the server side. I could able to read the data what user is passing. Super fine. What is my next job? Do I need to take this data and do we need to insert that guy into the MongoDB? Yes. Okay. So first of all, let me close up what I don't wanted. Yeah. Any other? I think Manasa, you said that it is not audible. Are you clear, Manasa? Now, I mean, I'm audible to everyone, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, Manasa, hope you are clear now. I mean, let me know if you have any issue, and please do check from your side also. Okay, so my next step is I need to create a connection to the MongoDB so that I can insert the data. Okay, we know that. How do you create a connection to the MongoDB? Where you say Mongo client is equal to require, what was that? MongoDB. We already saw this. How do we download these guys and how do we make use of it? In the same way, I need to create a URL, say some DB URL equal to protocol is MongoDB colon localhost colon 27. What is the port default port number?
Sir, that Mongo client is an object.
Mongo client is an object by default available under the MongoDB package module. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing is I have the DB URL. And what is my next thing? I need to use this Mongo client to connect to the database here. Mongo client dot connect with the DB URL. It provides a callback method for us. The first thing is error, right? Error following with the client object also you will get it. Now I need to say the DB. DB is equal to client dot DB. What is the database name, right? So what is our database name here? Our database name is web application DB. Copy this guy, paste this guy, and once we do this, he is going to return. Is he going to return or simply connect method?
Connect, sir.
Simply connect. Only connect, right? Yeah. Now I need to say collection.
Yes, sir.
Collection is equal to db dot collection. What is the collection name we want to go with? We want to go with the user account details. Copy this guy and paste this guy. Okay. Now what I need to do here, collection equal to so-and-so user account details. Now I say collection dot, let me say find method. First of all, I want to work on the find method. You know this find dot to array. Dot to array, which is going to return a callback method. Okay, under this you have some error and data. And here we are going to say some console.log data. What is the data we have in the database? Let's have a look. And after that, simply respond the same guy here. Again, observe it clearly, guys. We are doing step by step. I'm not simply writing the insert command, etc. First of all, I have written whether web service is working good or not. Later, I saw whether web service is receiving the data or not. Later, I saw web service could able to connect to the MongoDB and retrieving or not. Okay, save this guy, do some restart here, npm start, go back to this guy. Now I click on the register. You go back to the database. Could you able to retrieve the data? Implies you could able to connect to the MongoDB with the collection what you wanted. But here our requirement is, okay, let me comment out this guy or else fine. My requirement is not to find the details. We are about to insert the data into the Mongo database, isn't it? So in order to insert the data, the command what we have is collection dot insert one. There are two methods. Earlier it used to be insert method, but right now it is insert one and insert many. Right now we are inserting only one record, isn't it? Now you simply say insert. What is the object you want to insert? Can I say that insert response dot body? This is what the object you want to insert? Yes. And once it is inserted, response dot body, it comes with a callback method like this: function, error, and data. If there is an error, what you can say, I say, instead of this guy, let us put this guy on the top. I say response data dot msg is equal to error while inserting data. Okay, at the same time, let me say response data dot code. I want to put some code also here, something called as error, so that at the receiver guy, he can check the code whether it is error or not. If this is not the case, can I say that successfully inserted data? Yes, right? Now I can say here, I copy the same. I say that details, okay, or else I can say user got created successfully, something like this. And under the code, I say success. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you save this, come back here and restart your server CLS. Okay. Now you come to your Mongo database. This is what the data you have. I want to delete some things. Okay. So that you can manually insert this, automatically through service, you can insert this data. Right now I have only two records. One is test underscore 002, s underscore 099. Okay. Now have I restarted this? npm start, come back to this guy. I'm saying some admin and some details. Now once I click on register, I got a message called as failed. Why so? Cannot read property underscore ID of undefined. Why so?
jQuery, sir.
No, it is not jQuery. It is from the server side, right? in the node modules, I couldn't able to insert one thing. Why so? Common functions underscore ID of undefined. Response dot body. Console log response dot body, right? Save this guy. Restart your server. I mean, I want to see what is this. Once we click on register, I'm getting failed. You see, response.body is undefined. Why so? Oh man, it is not response.body, it is request.body, right?
Yes.
Console.log request.body, and while sending, it should be request.body. Save this guy, because whatever user is passing, it is under the request object, right? Not the response object. Now once I click on request, awesome. Now I got a response that user got created successfully. And the magic you see over here, let me click on find method. Do you see dynamically user got added? No manual interaction. Dynamically user could able to sign up. Now I just sign up here. Back to login page. Why this guy is not working? We haven't written any code for that. Back to login, go to the news page. Oh, back to login, we haven't added anything. Back to login, what it should be? It should be this guy. Back to login. On click is equal to so and so. Okay. Now if you come back, reload the page, click on sign up, back to login. Yeah, now it is going fine. And one more thing, what I'm missing here is once I'm successfully signed up, it is better I show some message over here. Okay. Let me do that under the main.js. When it is success, where is this new sign up? Under this, let me put some more li. I say class is or else id equal to s message. Okay, so under this I can say $of hash s message dot inner or else dot text. What is that? Response. Response dot msg. Okay, done. Now if you come back here, reload the page, I go with the new sign up, user id, say some sample underscore 0. Okay, password something I'm giving. I give the password as so and so. Mail id is sample@gmail.com. Once I click on register, user got created successfully. I click on back to login. Now I can give the details and I can sign up. Now you go into the database, you should able to see this. So the two main operations what we have done is we could able to read the data and we could able to insert the data from the database or to the database. Any questions on the top? Okay, so in between, Nikhil is having one suggestion for us. Why don't we use NodeMon, right? I mean, not only NodeMon, Nikhil, there are like multiple Node.js module which helps us so that like any changes you do on the Node.js, it automatically starts. I mean, you can do that. We can make use of it. Okay. Yeah, but the reason why I'm making you guys habituated to restart is in general, whenever you go into the real time, yes, we do the development on the local, but when you go to the deployment and all, you have to keep restarting the servers after every deployment. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Till now, any piece of questions on this? Is everyone so clear? Yes or no?
Sir, please go into Visual Studio. Sign up page, sir. New sign up.
Sign up page, HTML you're saying?
Nice, sir. New sign up page.
New user sign up.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir,
You mean to say web service?
yes, sir.
Browser, sir.
Okay. Yeah, what is the question?
Hello, sir.
1 second, Manjushri. I mean, for us, you had a question, right? Okay, may I know what is the question?
Sir, line number 14, please explain why you
Line number-
remove two array.
Why we remove two array when we are reading the data from the server? That is what you need to convert. You have n number of records here coming from the server database. You have to convert that guy into array to read it. Are we inserting or are we reading the data in order to create a user?
Inserting, sir.
Inserting. So when you're inserting, you don't get any response from the DB, right? You only say that request.body. You're inserting this object and callback method will tell you what is the error. In fact, there is no data here. Who said it is data? I don't need to have only one callback. It will throw error. If you have an error, that means it is not inserted. If you don't have an error, which indicates that it is a inserted successfully. So that is why we don't need to make use of the two array method. Am I clear for us?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am, Manjushri, you are having a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That line number 16, sir. Sir, what is that response data, sir?
Response data, right?
Line number
This is what
16,
we want to send to the user. Finally, once the job is done, response data is the object which you want to send back to the user.
Okay, okay.
So initially, I have taken one of the object. In fact, right now you don't need to put this guy. So I have taken empty object. Under that, I'm inserting MSG encode so that we can return back to the system.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Next, any other questions?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Go ahead, Hemant.
Sir, on the top of this, I think we also need to check whether the given input is already present in the database.
Awesome. That's a very good question, Hemant. That is what my next point is. That is the reason I was asking this question. Now the problem what you have with your code is, assume there is a user test underscore 02. What if someone else is coming? I'm giving the sign up. I'm going with the test ID same, and I'm going with the same email ID. Okay, I say password. Password could be anything. Password could be same, right? So I say hello one, and I say hello one. Once I click on register, successfully got registered. Now you go into the DB and find this objects here. S underscore 09. Let me remove this guy. And sample 0 also, let me remove it. Okay. Now if you see here, there are two users having the same ID, same users having the same mail ID. This is not at all valid, right? The valid thing is two users should not have the same ID. At the same time, same mail ID cannot be used by others. Either the UID or mail ID, if it is already used, we have to say it is an error. That's a very good question, Hemant. Okay, everyone understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
how do we stop this guy? Here, what I'm doing is, whenever you are inserting this data, okay, I'm simply, whatever the data I got, I'm simply going with the request.body insertion. Instead of doing this, first of all, do I need to see whether I have a student or whether I have a user who is having this data? Yes, right? Then what I need to do? I need to put a option, something called as collection dot find method. I want to find a user with something called as u underscore id, where uid is request dot body dot uid. Okay, I'm finding this. Now I say to array, okay, which is going to come with a callback method. Under this, we are going to have some error, comma data. Now, if I say if data dot length greater than 0, can I say that user already exists?
Yes, sir.
Understood, everyone? What I'm doing is, finding the user who is having a user ID, what we are about to insert. If I get some data, obviously user is there. If I don't get some data, obviously user is not there. Am I clear? Now, can I simply put this update guy here? I say user already exists. Okay, it is an error. If this is not the case, now you put this collection to insert the data. Okay, but this guy response.send has to be done even when we do this.
Sir,
Not
we
this
only
guy.
check only length, sir.
Okay, what do you mean by length here? The reason is I am putting an operation. Now what I'm doing is, okay, now if you see, okay, put a condition UID colon, I say something called as test underscore 002. Now if you click on find, how many records I received here? Displaying documents 2 of 2.
Yeah.
Okay, now
No.
if I say something called as some 5, when I say find, what I got 0 of 0 implies that indicates there is no user having a UID called as test underscore 005. So the condition what I'm giving length in the sense I'm not checking the length of the content. I'm checking how many users I have who is having the UID as so and so. So if the database returns me some value that indicates that user already there. If the database is not returning anything, I know that, okay, then there is no user. I can create an account, right?
It check only database length, right, sir?
Total number of records inside the database.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now
So
what I'm
then
doing
can
here.
we give the same
Yeah.
condition as a data not equal to null?
Data, the reason why I'm using the null is, if you see when I say to array, it will automatically become empty array, right? If there is no data. Got it? Let us console the log data. Let us see what actually the data we are receiving. Then you will understand better. Okay, I'll do this. Now I do this by response.send has to be done over here also. Let me remove this guy. Yeah, fine. Now if you save this, come back here, restart the servers, ELS, go to the npm start. Okay, now if you come back, I'm using the test underscore 2. When I'm clicking register, it is saying that user already exists. Now you go into the server, am I getting an array of 2 records? What is the length of this array? 2. Let us go to the DB. I find out, let me remove the data here. Test underscore 02, delete this. Test underscore data 2, delete this guy. Okay, now you come to the UI. Now once I click on register, you say pending. Why so? Are we not written any piece of code? It is coming into insert one, response.send. Fine, right? What is the issue here? Yeah. Now if you see here, what is the array you got?
Empty array.
Shreyas, are you clear now? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you got an empty array because you are converting that guy into 2 array, right? So now you got empty array, which means that user is a new user. Now I said like user got created successfully. Now you go into the database. Now you click on find. This is how it is. Am I clear, guys? Everyone, how do we check the condition? I mean, Hemant, you asked this question, right? Now you're clear. How do you stop? How do you validate it before inserting the data?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. One more thing is, you guys can try with the email ID. Can you guys try? Another condition is, I even want to see whether email ID already exists or not.
Sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So one more thing, guys. If you see here, whenever whenever we are actually working with the data inside the database, right now I have my own database, I'm deleting, inserting, etc. things and all. But in general, you don't get a chance to directly work on the data until and unless you have read and write access. And in a very rare case, people give you the admin access for read and write. Okay. Anyway, one more thing what I have is, assume this is what my online shopping application is. People are adding the data, are inserting the data. You could able to, one second please. Okay. So yeah, what I'm saying is, like, in general, you don't have an access to the database for read and write. That is fine. Anyway, if you want to delete the user, now you need to provide an option of something called as deregister. Okay, I don't want to get here. I mean, I want to deregister here. I want you to do this guy, that guy. What is that? Once you click on deregister, you need to delete a record. So in order to delete a record, you have a method, something called as collection dot delete one or delete many. Can you guys try on that? So you need to simply say delete one. What is the object request dot body, whatever the user is going to pass. That's it. Okay. Can you guys try on this, deleting and adding a validation on the email ID? I can do this, guys, but anyway, same as it is, just like the, what do you say, insert, it is just to delete. Okay, so try that. If it is not coming, let me know. I will do that, guy.
Sir, instead of delete, we can update this. It automatically delete this.
Update doesn't delete, right? Updating will actually still create a record, right? That underscore ID will be still there, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so it is better to completely delete the record if it is not needed. So it is recommended to go with the delete. Okay, so now my next question, what I have is, okay, as an end user, I'm using this. You are the developers. You can open the database and you can see that. You tell me, can you guys, I mean, is it is okay to read the password of any of the account like this?
No, sir.
No,
No.
right? Doesn't
No.
matter. You are part of the organization. You say that, no, boss, I'm the part of organization. I'm the developer who did this. But even though you are developer, there will be never ever chance. This is a vulnerability, data insecurity. Like, how come you can actually read the password of an account? So this is not at all recommended, guys. So anytime you're putting the data into the database, it is recommended to decrypt, encrypt the data, and you store the data into the database. Okay, whenever you're going to store the data into the DB, try to encrypt the data. I mean, write it in different way that user, you read it, he don't understand that. So how you're going to put the encryption mechanism? In order to put the encryption, there are lots and lots of node modules available, which can help us in encrypting the data and decrypting the data. Okay, so let us go into this. Now you tell me, for example, I don't have any idea of any node module who can help me in encrypting and decrypting. Now, can you tell me what is the source from where I can start this? What is the source where I can start this?
npmjs.com.
Exactly. So we already know that we need to go to the npmjs.com. There you simply put that, say something called as encryption. Okay, so a simple module wrapping around crypto module. A lot of modules are there. So let us click on these guy. Let us see how it is. Click on search. Okay, there is something called as encryption module. Okay, so let us come on, there is nothing given here.
Rating is very low, sir. That's why.
Okay, let's go with the second one. There is something called as bcrypt. What they are saying, a library to help us hash passwords. That is what actually we wanted. Let us go into the API, how they have written. So what is the way? First of all, you need to say npm install bcrypt. Okay, how do we make use? So what they're saying is you have to say bcrypt. Okay, salt rounds. We'll see this. Plain text password is some other plain text password. Okay. To hash a password, you need to say bcrypt.gensalt salt rounds function salt bcrypt.hash my plain text stores hash in your password db. Okay, technique 2, auto generate a salt and hash bcrypt hash plain text so and so. To check the password, bcrypt.compare my plain text password with hash. Okay. Okay, fine guys. So let us try to implement this. Okay, actually what the plain text password is so and so. Now they want to convert this. We'll see. Let us practically implement this. So openly speaking, honestly, this is also new for me. So let us see how actually, even though if it is new for me, how actually I'll make use of it. There is some other encryption module which I used to use generally, but bcrypt is the very first time I'm using, but it's all fine. See, openly everything is there. First thing what I need to do is go with the bcrypt option. Okay. So I will go with this bcrypt option. Okay, bcrypt is the node module. At the same time, after bcrypt, it is saying that salt arounds, maybe the total number of iterations. Let us see, have they given any documentation for this? No documentation. What is salt around? Okay. Do we have any link for documentation? No. Okay, fine. Let us see this, how actually we go. No documentation, right? Okay, explore. No documentation. Fine. Let us implement it. So the second thing what they said is they asked us to create the salt arounds and so and so. Okay, let us have a copy of this. I go for the salt arounds is 10. I think you can give any number of rounds. Plain text is so and so. Some other plain text password is so and so. Okay. Now the second thing is generate a salt and hash on separate function calls. Okay, store hash in your password. Okay, let us copy this guy and see this. So now bcrypt.generate salt and the salt around is so and so under this function. Now you're going to get the salt. Let us see what actually this is. Console.log salt. Okay, the salt is there. Next thing is, let us see this guy, console.log hash. What is the output you got? Okay, let us restart this server. npm start. Let me click on the same user. Why it is not working? Oh, I got an error. What is that? It is saying find,
Sir, I
cannot find
think
module
we
bcrypt.
should
What I need to do?
install that. We should install
You
Well,
need to
the
install that, right?
Yeah,
So npm install bcrypt minus save hyphen save. You know what is the reason we are giving this hyphen save? Did I give any explanation for this?
No, sir.
Okay, it's very simple, guys.
No, sir.
to
Whatever the
save
new
for
module,
future.
yeah, in future, like if you want to install this, when I say hyphen save, the entry will be added into this guy. Where is this? Why it is not added? Under the package.json, the entry has to be added. npm install bcrypt hyphen Come on. It is not working. Why so? It should work. Okay. Anyway, I'll come back to this part. First of all, let us work with this guy, what we are working on. Now we say npm start. Click on enter. You know, it is having some vulnerabilities also. And that too, one high vulnerability. It is better we don't go with this package, I guess. So that is this reason it is not adding to this guy. Anyway, click on register. Now, if you see here, this is the salt and this is the decrypted one. Whatever the password we have given, this is how it got encrypted. Sorry, it is not decrypted, encrypted. Okay. But now, how do you decrypt this guy? Let us say var hash is equal to whatever the hash you got. Okay. Encrypt pwd is equal to empty. Now I say encrypt pwd is equal to hash. Okay. Next. What is my next part? I need to decrypt this. This is my password. Once I encrypt, this is what it got created. But once I decrypt, how do I decrypt this guy? So this is what the thing they have given. But you know, load hash from your password DB. How can I do this? I can't store this my plain text password, right? So here they are giving the password. We are converting that guy. But once it got converted, we won't store this. But what they are saying to compare these two passwords, text password and she, and then it will say whether it is password is valid or not. Okay, implies in this case, user will give you the password and now you have to put the hash code. This is a bit of confusion, but fine. Let us see this. Now I say after this guy, when I say decrypt, whatever my plain text password is and whatever the encrypted password is, let us see this, how actually it is throwing. Now I say console.log. I save this, restart this guy, npm start. Okay, it is saying it is true. Okay. Now instead of this, if I give the text itself as main text, it should say false. See whether it is happening or not. It is saying false. Super fine. Okay. Anybody understood the logic or you want me to give an explanation here? Okay, let me tell you. What actually this guy is doing is, bcrypt is one of the external node module. As I said you, I already said you, right? In your node, no one is going to be expertise on the node modules. Any node module info you wanted, go into the npm.js, search for it. There are lots and thousands of node modules are there. Looking into the rating, looking into the popularity, you can choose one of the node module. Once you choose the node module, you have to go through the documentation. Under the documentation, they are so clear how and what, for what the module is to be used and how it has to be used. Everything is clear. You just simply need to make use of the methods. As I said you, that even this bcrypt was also very first time for me, but I could able to do that. Why so? Documentation is so clear. So documentation says that anytime we have to make use of this guy, go for the bcrypt module, salt rounds. It tells you how many times the encryption, lot and lot of encryption has to be used. Now, if I say something called as 2 times, so a bit of less number of encryptions are going to happen. Okay, so we are just following them. We say that the number of rounds, how it has to be do is 10 times the encryption has to be done. Fine. What they are saying is, you give me some password. Say, for example, hello, everyone. This is what my password is. Now, if you give this is not needed for us. If you give this password to the bcrypt guy, okay, to binary crypt might be. So binary encryption, whatever it is, once we give it to this guy, he will give us a hash code for us. You give the password to that guy, he will give a hash code. And that is what the hash code is going to look like. See, this is what the hash code. Now what he's saying, you take the hash code, now you store the hash code into the database. Okay, or else let me show you. First of all, instead of this guy, let me comment out this guy. Encrypted password. Okay, I'm only working on taking hello, or else let's simply say hello is the password. Now if you restart your server, see how the hello is getting encrypted. See, this much message it is doing in order to encrypt it. Up to this part, anyone questions? Let me know. Just taking a string, encrypting it so that it is not understandable by the end user. Any questions up to this? Yes or no, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, very good. Now the thing what I need to do is, I need to, when the user is registering, if you see here earlier what we were doing, we are directly inserting request.body. But now I should not do that, isn't it? What I need to do, first of all, I need to do this encryption mechanism here. I take out this piece of code, I put it over here. Okay, now is this hash code, is it not request.body, right? Whatever the password we are giving earlier, is it not request.body.password? Yes or no? Our password has to be given with the salt, whatever it is, then they will return the hash code of it, encrypted data. Now you need to insert that guy into the collection. Do I need to do this? Now under this request.body, now can I say request.body.password is equal to whatever the hash code you got from the server, or else instead of hash, if you're feeling confusion, I say encrypted password. Whatever the encrypted password you have, you simply put it here. Any questions up to this? Let us save this guy. Okay, let us see how it is working. Now when I'm restarting, CLS npm start, go to the database. Okay, I said new sign up. I say user Prasad underscore user. Password, I gave some India. Okay, mail ID, at gmail.com. Now once I click on register, it said that user got created successfully. Wow. Now if you come back to the database, click on find method. If you see here, I'm storing the user Prasad underscore user. Now it is comparing the, now if you see here, yeah, for the Prasad, do you see the password which is getting in the form of encrypted way? Earlier, if you see test underscore 002 admin, password is so clearly visible, which is not at all valid. Right, everyone? Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Till
Yes.
now, any questions? Only storing, retrieving, I will show you. Only storing the encrypted data. Is everyone so clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very nice. But now, yes. Shreyas, are you asking a question? I got your voice. No?
No, sir, I think I understood.
Okay, fine, good. So now I'm going back to the login. You know that there is Prasad underscore user who is the one who is just registered. I'm giving my password, which is India. When I click on login, it is saying invalid credentials. But I know that I have given only Prasad underscore user in India. Why the reason it is saying like invalid? The reason is if you go into the valid user credential.js, what are you doing here? You are directly taking the request.body UID and you are directly taking the password request.body.password, whatever the user is saying, and you are comparing in the DB. Now, if I go to the DB and I say that something called UID colon Prasad underscore user, I gave this guy. Click on this. Huh? Why the Prasad user is not come? Did I give Prasad user or something else?
Sir, capital P should have been there.
Oh yeah, it has to be. Sorry. So now I say UID colon. It should be Prasad underscore user. I click on find. I got the user. Okay. Now I say comma password. I say password colon something called as India. Now when I click on this, obviously it should respond empty results. This is what it is happening. Why the reason? Because when you are storing the data, you're not storing as India. You're storing as a encrypted way. Now, when you're reading, when you're comparing, obviously, do I need to take my password, what user is giving? Now you need to decrypt the password, what you have inside the database and compare whether those two are equal or not.
Yes.
Yes. So further, that is what the code they have given. So they have given a piece of code here. Where is that? The API guy have given a piece of code.
45, sir, line 45.
Line number 14, where it is?
45, sir, 45.
45.
Oh, 5, yeah.
Yes, it is. So if you see bcrypt.compare so and so, that is what they have given. Now I take out this guy. I go to the valid user credentials. So earlier we are simply saying data.length, but here I can't do that. First of all, what I need to do? Only send the UID. Once you get the data, what I need to do? Data dot, not data. Do I need to use this method? Okay, I say where is valid password is equal to, what is the plain text instead of this? What is the message user is passing? Request dot body dot password, whatever the password user is passing. And what is this encrypted password? Is it not this data of 0 dot password? Yes or no? Why I'm saying data of 0 dot password? When I'm saying the find method, obviously you get an array of object. Under that, you will be having this password details, or let me show you. Now I say console.log data. Okay, I say this guy is data inside database. What is the data which is inside the database? Let us see that. Under that, I'm going to compare this. Now, if the password is valid, if is valid password, then you say response is valid. If this is not the case, this is invalid. Clear? Okay, now if you save this guy, come back here, restart your page, npm start. Okay, so coming back to this guy, now once I click on Prasad underscore user, now if I click on login, it is saying invalid credentials. Why so? Data inside the DB is empty array. Why so? Can anyone tell me? Caps.
Capital P.
There we have given the caps. Okay. Now once I click on the login, still it is saying invalid. Come on. Why so? bcrypt is not defined. Oh, I missed it, right? Here also you need to include the bcrypt guy, where bcrypt is equal to require. Save this guy. Restart this. Okay, reload this page. Password is India. Once I click on login, I'm not getting anything. Why so? I haven't started anything. Request is not defined. Why so? Where is that? Oh, here I said request, right? So obviously it should be request. Save this guy. npm start. Now if we come back, reload the page, I say Prasad underscore user, I say India. Once I click on login, still not getting. Why so? Data and hash arguments required under the bcrypt.js. We are already giving, right? This is the data. Bcrypt.compare. Oh man. Bcrypt.async. Required bcrypt.generate site. Okay, you know one thing, but after hash code, the bcrypt is still returning as error. Why so? Data and hash arguments are required. For what purpose? Okay. npm start. When we click on this, it is getting an error. Data inside the database is something like this. Up to this, it is very much valid. But the next part is when you're comparing this guy, the problem is coming.
Sir, if we compare hash code, then why we are decrypting it?
If we compare hash code, we are not decrypting it, right? Actually, what bcrypt is saying is, you give me the original password, you give me the encrypted password, I will compare and I will return you whether it is true or false. But what I see here is, what is missing in what I feel is, how can they say that without specifying the salt? Let us try with the salt here. Bcrypt.generate salt. But what is the use of the salt here, man? I can't. Okay, let me go with the documentation again. Bcrypt.hashcode so and so to check a password. This is what we write. Load hash from your password DB. Yeah, this is the valid way. Okay, save. In the DB, this is what the password which is stored. We are taking this and comparing this. Am I giving the wrong password? No, the problem is it is throwing an error. Error data and hash arguments required. Why it is throwing an error? The bcrypt guy. Bcrypt dot generate salt. Here it is not throwing an error. Let us take out this, and here itself let me use this. Come on. It is saying false right here. Then why the reason it is throwing issue here? Come on. Why it is throwing an error and here it is working fine in the other module, but here it is not. Why so? What is the difference here? In the new user sign up, oh, are they expecting this constants and so on? So okay, let me do the same. Take it as it is and see this. Okay, now if you save this, validate user credentials. Come on. How can this get through this error? Okay. What if I now it is working good. You know, the reason is it is coming as empty. Okay. Just this statement is creating an issue. The bcrypt dot compare sync. Compare sync. Oh. Oh. Okay. What is the response we got? Data dot password, right? Have we given it as data dot password? PASSWORD request dot body dot password. Okay, let us something else. Okay, the problem is request dot body dot password. Is it so? Console.log is valid password. Let us save this, see whether it is written in npm start. I click on login, invalid credentials are coming, super fine. Now it is coming as false. Earlier it was an error. In the sense, there might be issue with these parameters. Okay. Now once I click on this login. Oh, the problem is this first parameter. Let us see what is this guy is coming as console.log request.body. Okay, so console.request.body. Let us restart the server. Come back here. Once I click on login, nothing is coming. Oh my God. See here, the password what you gave is PWD and we are looking for PASSWORD. Okay, so now you give the correct password. So I say is valid password and so password. If it is so and so, yeah, let us see this guy now. I say npm start, go to this guy, Prasad underscore user, password is India. Once I click on login, I'm going into inside. Okay, now the advantage what you have is, who knows the password other than me? Anyone?
No one, sir.
No
Get away.
one. Only the end user, I mean the user who has created the password, only I know it. Not even the developer guy. This is what happens in your Gmail or Amazon, whatever it is, guys. They never ever store your password directly. If they store the password directly, that is a violation, data security violation. So they are going to be put on a case. I mean, in general, like there are some data security organizations, what they do is, this is what they do, whether you are storing the user personal details in your system or not. So you should not do this. So this is how you're going to encrypt and decrypt the code. Okay, so any type of sensitive information you have, this is how. And again, right now I gone with the bcrypt. Now what if like you say that, no boss, I'm not comfortable with this. You can again search for this, go for encryption. Okay, go for search, bcrypt.js, right? Mongoose encryption achieve, wrapping around Node.js script module. See, lot of modules are there. Just look into the rating and see how it is. See here, how do we go to the password? What are the password? Again, encryption. In output is, first of all, you need to get the, I mean, the requirement is encrypt or decrypt the content. The way you want it, it's up to you. So any questions up to this, guys? The simple thing, like first of all itself, I would have validated the parameters. But anyway, fine. They will learn the things from the mistakes only. Any questions? Are we good up to this guy?
Yes.
Okay. Now the next part what you have is, now openly in the UI, everything is, I mean, at least in the login part, we are done. While you're giving ID and password, we are taking the data, we are storing into the DB dynamically, and that too with the encrypted way. When you're saying new sign up, again, I'm sorry, when your login ID and password is getting validated from the database, and when you're going with the new sign up, you are encrypting the data and you're even storing the data. Okay, that is what we have done till now. Super fine. Now, what is my next part? The next part is, after you log in, you're having all the product details. The product details are directly stored or they are stored? Are we going to receive the dynamic data or hard coded data? Product details.js.
Hardcore that.
Hard coded. So,
Hard-coded
but in
data.
generally, what it has to come? Does it need to come from the database? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in the next class, tomorrow's class, we are going to talk about how you receive the data from the database. All the product details, and not only receiving, I will even cover one of the very important concepts. How do you upload files or images or any part into the database? That's what we are going to see tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you don't have any questions, so we can stop here. We can pause for today. We'll meet again back on tomorrow. Okay. Have a good day and bye for today, guys.
Bye, sir.
Nice, sir.
Good night, all.